What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the weekly big game of small talk. Mooch is on his way in. I don't know where the fuck Crap's at. Hit them. But I got my man Show here, and I made the room. You know, we don't really get to hear from the showstopper, Coach Little, that often. So, you know what I mean? So I get start the show. But Mooch said he will be here. And Coach D, he'll be here in a minute or two. Oh, homie, mute the video. Sorry, I got the video playing in the background. But anyway, on to the day big game of small talk podcast. That's for a little while. You've been gone on vacation on BA?
For me?
Yeah, you, Tim. Yeah, you.
Yeah, no, I went to Great Wolf Lodge up in Pennsylvania. So,
okay. So, you know, I'm questioning you. Have you been keeping up to what's been going on? Have you had your finger on the pulse? No, you do. Have you had your finger on the pulse? Have you been following what's going on?
Well, yeah, I've been have the finger on the pulse, half on the pulse.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna ask you a question.
I've been following though.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Okay, well, like I said, you sent me the. You know, I don't get up to about 4 o'clock today. I seen you sent me the Eurogamer article about the rumored specs for the NX. So, it's the first time we're all getting together to talk about this. Everybody probably didn't talk about it on their individual channel, but we have yet to discuss it as Bgst. Now I know I kind of went to bat for Nintendo a couple shows back, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I remember you were, it's Nintendo. They're not going to basically, they're going to pull the bullshit again. So how do you feel about these rumored specs or whatever the case may be?
You talking to me?
Which one?
Yeah, I'm talking. You guys can hop in it. No matter.
I mean, me and Show had we had the same kind of feeling, so I'll let Show take it for right now because my eye's gonna feel. I got allergies right now.
I knew right off bat that Nintendo was gonna not make it very powerful because their games don't really demand that much, and they're not really trying to get third-party help, and that was the whole argument I think we had back then was if they're going to seek after third-party help, and they never did. So they just continuing on with the same old. So it just makes sense that they want this little handheld.
But does it really? No. Could we see what just happened with the Wii U? And I've said, like people like I don't know, maybe again, and I'm gonna say this again. Exclusives don't hold the punch as they used to do. You know what I mean? They don't.
You don't need much with Mario, though.
But you need also something to complement that. How many times are you gonna keep saving that bitch from the princess? That bitch from the castle. You know what I mean? You get exclusives every 4 to 5 months. You get multiplats every Tuesday. And Nintendo again just left a generation without any third-party support, and you see how that worked out for you. You know what I mean? And if these rumored specs are legit, are official, this will be the 3rd generation in a row with Nintendo releasing, anemic hardware compared to their competition.
Hey, Z, yes. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wait. When did Bgst turn into BGOT? Big Gamers on Time. We're never on time. I'm late today.
No, he said Big Gamers on. Man, we in the room at 7. We got to take advantage of before showstoppers just start like breaking like a fucking taxi cab driver while he was here. You know what I mean? What time is it now?
No, listen, Z, I just want to chime in. I know you guys on this Nintendo thing. My whole thing is this. I think you're 100% right, Z. This is going to be the 3rd generation. It is going to be anemic. They're not going to be able to keep up with the Joneses. The thing is, though, here's my question back at everybody. Is this Nintendo saying we don't want to keep up with the others? We want to just be I'm going to be a little bit facetious here, but do we want to be the cartoon console? You know what I mean? If you don't have to have, technically, you don't have to have Mario, Zelda, or Metroid come at you with 6 T-flops. You know what I'm trying to say? That'd be one like freakishly realistic looking Mario with 6 T-flops. So my point being is that they maybe don't want to go for that group. You know what I mean? They want to have.
If you look at what Nintendo doing, Mooch, they catering to their fan base.
But who's his fan base?
I mean, it's over in Japan. They more handheld gamers than actual sitting down console gamers. So when you look at it from that standpoint, that makes a lot of sense what they're doing, So
so check it out.
And then they kind of doing a double thing where you can have a handheld and you can split up your TV if you want to. So it's the same thing.
So you say Japan. Well, again, North America, over here, us and Europe, we are the biggest consumers of anything and everything. Japan is last when it comes to sales as far as software and every goddamn thing. And yes, the Japanese market are more mobile, not really handheld, more mobile, but as far as
Yeah, they're more
cell phone,
mobile.
tablets, yada 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 yada.
That's right.
Now again, I seen crap video, and he was happy in the fact with a bag of dicks in prison about this NX. But I mean, I don't know. Like I'm again, I don't really suffer from nostalgia, and I've always I got this famous saying that I've grown up with Nintendo, but Nintendo hasn't grown up with me. And I don't have a connection with those characters too much anymore.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing. And to me, like I said, and I don't know why they get it passed, so we can all talk about the NX together. And I just feel like I don't know why Nintendo gets it passed. Could you imagine had that been Sony or Microsoft showed up at E3 with one game, and people just say, oh, that's just Nintendo. But when did it just come, Nintendo? Because again, I remember when Nintendo had all the third-party support.
I'm gonna say this too, but not Nintendo, but Sony and Microsoft don't have iconic franchises like they do.
Okay, I'll say iconic. Well, okay.
NX is Beast. NX is Beast.
Okay. You said they don't have.
They don't have the iconic franchises. What I mean, like Mario been around forever. That's like a stamp. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I'm gonna play the bad guy. You said Microsoft and Sony don't have these iconic characters, right?
They don't.
Okay, but all right, now what two do you think is more globally recognized, Master Chief or Mario? Because here's again, those exclusives do sell.
Mario.
They do sell well, but
Mario
here's the
is
thing.
more iconic.
But check it out. Here's the difference. Master Chief sells hardware. Mario don't sell no fucking hardware. You had all those Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and all that, and they still haven't sold 13 million goddamn consoles yet. They do sell well. They go out. They may do 2, 3, 4 million, whatever, but they're not selling any hardware on the back of that. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. What do you think? Am I bugging? Am I reaching?
No.
Mario is the shit.
What is I'm saying? But what is it? Is it selling hard? Call of Duty sells hardware. You understand what I'm saying? Destiny sells hardware.
Well, Nintendo's not trying to attract those people. Nobody's gonna. Hey, look. Nobody. No. Nobody's gonna drop. Nobody in this podcast, no matter what the NX was boasting, was gonna drop their fucking multiplats on the Xbox or the PlayStation and go hop on the NX train. That shit wasn't gonna happen. So the only people that are gonna The only people that were ever gonna buy the NX were the fanboys and things like that, and then they're hoping to get some of the casual market with the moms and dads and the mobile and the Japanese market and things like that. That's super casual.
That's casual. Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, Battlefield.
No, I mean that's not casual. Those are gamers, man. Those aren't. I mean, I play those games. I'm not casual.
That's all that they buy. The Madden every year.
And they were never going to buy it on the NX.
I think what's going on here is that they're going after. They're going after a different subset of gamers. You know, they're going after the kids. Obviously, they're going after gamers that are doing like Pokemon Go, that type of stuff. They've always been. They march to their own beat, and this is just, I said this when we brought this up a year ago. They're not competing with Microsoft and Sony. They're just not. They're not in the whole. They're not doing the whole. They didn't even have party chat or they don't have the infrastructure for that. What they're trying to grasp is basically that what Pokemon Go kind of grasps. They kind of want that casual market, like Rob said. They want to go after that. They want to be able to you take your game or you take your little whatever the fucking thing is, and you go over your friend's house and you dock it, and play together, and you do things in a mobile type of way. It's a different type of gamer, and it's listen. If they get kids to buy this or tell their parents, hey, this is the console I want, hey, this is the thing that I want, and then they buy it like they buy the handhelds, guess what? They're going to do well. But it's just a different strategy. And as far as Japan goes, Japan used to be the #1 video game market. Now, obviously, it's not that anymore, but it's still a strong market. So they could have that market, and it could do well. It could also do well in Europe. It could also do well, obviously, in the United States. So I'm not going to say it's a failure right off the bat, but it's just they're marching to their own beat, and you're not going to get the same type of stuff that we get from Sony and Microsoft. They're just too far behind. They're not.
Listen, I'll attribute, Tim. You make great points. I'll attribute it to a different scenario with a different company. For example, like T-Mobile. Okay, T-Mobile is graciously happy in third place. There's certain companies that are just okay with that. Like, you got to even see the commercial for T-Mobile. They're like, I joined T-Mobile. I got 4 free phones, and they just stand there with a big smile on their face. It's like, no shit, you got 4 free phones. None of them can make a phone call once you leave a metropolitan area. My point is that, like, so it's the same thing when you go buy an NX. Now, Nintendo might be a little bit smarter than the average company. Tim just kind of hit a nerve, and I think he's on to something. You like that crap? I think Tim made a point with the whole mobile market. We know Nintendo owns the mobile market. If Nintendo says, hey, now these controllers that are portable will start playing all your 3DS games, and they start discontinuing the actual 3DS itself. Yeah. And they say the only way this is going to continue is using the controller aspect, the portable part of our NX. Well, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden this thing just got lethal. Now, did it get lethal with the earning the rights to the new Call of Duties? No. But it got lethal because it's going to get big-time sales, because then you're going to get smothered console and smothered portable market sales in this NX. Now, if they just say, oh, no, the NX is in addition to the 3DS, well, you're just going to be that number 3.
They just shot they shot themselves in the foot with that.
What's his name? The president. I don't know the guy's new name, but he's been on the record.
Not Iwata, but
the new guy. He said that the NX is not a successor to the 3DS.
Okay.
That's what they, according to what they're saying. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And again, as far as what the handheld thing, like who they're aiming. Like a prime example. My daughter, she's all about the what do you call it, Subway Surfer, and the Sonic, little free games or 99cent games she can play on a tablet or Amazon Fire Stick. And believe it or not, Nintendo has lost a lot of market share due to that quick fix for 90 cent or or that you can get on your cell phone or your iPad or whatever the case may be. But I just here again, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. They've been in business for over 100 years, okay?
Right.
So I say, when you stop competing, that's when, shit get a little funky for you. And it's going by statistics, numbers, since the NES until now, besides the Wii, because, that was a phenomenon that was bought by 9 gamers. What I mean by that, I wouldn't even call them casuals because my grandmother has 2. She may have played Wii Sports once or twice, once in church and once at home. They had a bowling tournament in church at the bingo, and she may have played it once or twice at home. I wouldn't consider her a gamer. Now again, since the NES until whatever the NX comes up, Nintendo's their home console market share has gotten smaller, smaller, and smaller, and smaller, and smaller. And I guess with this NX, I don't know if it's going to be a hit or miss. But people like I would guess this thing will probably be about $350 to $400.
No, this thing's gonna be like $200, $250.
Yeah, they're using like a mobile processor.
But it's not even that. You got the screen, you got the technical.
Yeah, they're not using anything super techy for that.
It could be the type of thing where if you add it all up.
Listen, the Wii U is still $300.
Yeah, but that's because the tablet really fucked them over. Not so much the hardware itself, but this thing's gonna be huge, man. It's gonna be fun. Okay, we all over again, bro. That's what it is.
Listen, even with what I'm saying about as far as the pricing, if the Tegra 1 chip is rumored to have the Tegra 2, but even with the Tegra 1 chip is more powerful than the Wii U, and the Wii U, like I said again, is still $300.
Yeah, because of the tablet.
I don't see Nintendo selling this console, whatever the hell it is, under at launch in $350.
Oh, this thing's going to be super cheap. They're going back to the Wii type mentality. That price point.
But is that really good for gaming though? At the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on what you mean. Like for me, I'm not looking for something to, like I say, play multiplats. I have that. I'm looking for something to be more unique. And as long as it has some kind of an achievement system, and I can get my Zelda and my Smash Bros. Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm all in, man.
Achievement system and all that stuff.
Listen, if it's $200 and it has an interesting concept and they build an infrastructure,
fuck yeah.
I think that it has potential. I mean, I'm not going to say it's dead on arrival.
I'm not going to say that either.
Did you see that new
well,
Zelda? That thing looks sick.
They're going after a different. Now, if you could play that Zelda game on a handheld or whatever the type of thing is, and you could walk around with it and do, I mean,
who the fuck is walking around?
Tim,
we damn near 40 fucking years old.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
I think you got to also look at who they're catering to. I keep telling you
that
Nintendo is the only one that sticks to old traditions.
Yes.
They start in Japan. Where they from? What was it? China, Japan, or whatever.
Yeah.
Japan.
They start there and branch out.
Well, listen.
Where you got Sony now, Sony is starting over here and going back.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Yes,
so they're the only ones to stay true to their fan base, man. That's what they do.
But I don't think over there, man. Fan base is because, this.
They're not going after your Call of Duty.
Oh no, not me. I'm just saying, but as far as this fan base, because most 10-year-olds right now, want to be online and talk to their friends and play, yada yada yada.
Yeah, but the problem is that the market's saturated here, Z. Now here's the thing. I congratulate you, Z, for saying what you said, and I was with you. I'm still with you. The fact that you were hoping that the NX was going to be on at least par with what we're going to see moving forward with Microsoft. Now hear me out though, okay? Mm-hmm. Even the king, you got to respect this. Let's get down to the street level for a minute with me, Z. Even the king of all pimps, okay? Hugh Hefner, okay? Always had three girlfriends, right? Mm-hmm. But only one he called his girlfriend, only one he took out, and one was just to fuck with. So my point is the farthest Nintendo was ever going to get was just to fuck with, as far as the actual...
Mooch is on point with his analogies today.
That was a great analogy.
It is.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
But you also got to remember, too, they do have, online. You can play online on a...
Yeah, but you know what it is, though, Showstopper, is that people like
it's just not a structure or advanced.
That's right, but my point is we already have our cliques in our groups, not just on Xbox, but in the game itself. There's some people, shout out to this one dude, his name's Mario, I think he goes by Mr. Tipsy. He's funny as hell, and he owns both consoles, right? His allegiance isn't necessarily to the console. His allegiance is to where his friends are on which console with which game. Now, hear me out. Third party's already out on Nintendo. They're out because they've lost the Destiny group. They've lost the Call of Duty group, right? Mm-hmm. They're definitely out on the Halo, and they're out on the Uncharted. Those are the four main games when people say, hey, what game are you playing tonight, and what console will you be on? Of course, they're exclusives. They part ways. But my point being is COD, Destiny, it's going to happen with Titanfall, Division, Battlefield. Yeah. My point being is that if the NX came out this year and blew people's doors out, it would still take 2 years for that cycle to catch up from where Nintendo's been missing in the multiplayer game. And it's just that. So the point of the matter is, let me say, right, but I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of positivity here. That's why what Nintendo's doing with the NX, I actually do a slow clap. Because to be honest with you, these guys, you're only going to get, right? You're only going to get the people that want to play the Marios, the Zeldas, the Metroids. So what they're doing, Z, is actually smart. Go cheap, make it portable. Make it cartridge. Make it so 3DS players join their world. You're never going to get the dude who's hardcore Destiny on PS4 or Xbox One to throw that console away and join you on the NX. It's not going to happen.
What they banking on, though, is they offering you something that you can't get on any other console.
Right.
That's what they're banking on.
And we're done right there.
You can't get Mario, you can't get Zelda, you can't get these games on any other. You have to purchase theirs if you want to play that type of stuff.
You can't. God of War there. Microsoft has the Gears. But what I'm saying is this: at the end of the day, you guys are talking about this market. No, trust me. I'm trying to look at it as the glass being half full, not half empty here.
That's right.
Because the last time I checked, it's adults who makes this industry go forth and thrive as far as money, revenue. And, it's kids get games for their birthday and for Christmas. It's adults that go out there and buy paycheck after paycheck after paycheck. And those kids, you talking about these 3DS owners, I can guarantee you more than probably 70% of those 3DS owners that may have gotten it are no longer in the Nintendo ecosystem. They went on to either PlayStation or an Xbox. You know what I mean?
I can't speak for over with the market where they selling at first. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They home first. Home is a different story. So that if you notice, they probably the leading console over there.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? Because of the handheld and everything else, they probably leading over there.
It doesn't
You
put
know,
a dent though in the industry. I mean, in the overall
but
global,
what
I
I'm
mean,
sitting here
very
saying,
small
that
spot.
experience is what
Mhm.
they offering. You can't get nowhere else. You know, it's Mario been around forever.
Okay,
You
all
know,
right,
now the whole argument we was
okay,
having an argument that they need to go after third party support.
they do.
And you know, we were sitting here saying they too far behind, they too this, you know, but they only put out their exclusives, and that's what every 2 months
Three,
or
4 months,
twice a year, times a year, or something
but
like that,
a decent
whatever it could be.
stopper. So what I'm saying, you prove my theory right, because this NX is nothing but a Wii U all over again. All we
That's
could have
it.
got on the Wii U was the Mario's, the whatever, those
We don't
iconic
know if it's
franchises,
going to be a
and
Wii
the
U or
console
it's going
still
to be a
didn't sell
Wii.
13 million units.
But you got to realize the Wii U also, the Crab Gamer was even saying this does have potential to be. It could be a fad. It could be something that you look at what happens with Pokemon. Now they own Pokemon, correct?
Okay,
Nintendo owns Pokemon. You see
It's a
what happens.
phenomenon right now.
okay.
Exactly. They have the ability to
But
gain.
why is that though, Tim? What's the key word? The game was free. I can guarantee you that game would have been $10. It would.
Well, you got to buy Pokeballs after a while, but
But
It was
it's
free.
making. You realize that thing's making more money than
I'm not
than
worried about
Xbox
the 401 okay,
and
their portfolio.
I mean, they
But I'm just
shot
saying the
up their
game is free.
stock in a span of 2 weeks. It shot up the stock. To the
It's
point
free.
where it was more expensive than Sony, basically just on that. So what I'm saying is that Nintendo, you can't count them out because they could get the casual market like no other, and the casual market is a huge market.
if you look at the
It is.
developers, developers are on board with this. They're loving it. They're like, hey, this is another Wii. We've got the opportunity to cash in with the fucking with this market. You know, this thing's going to be incredibly.
For Grammy no crap. I'm not saying that this thing is gonna fail.
Oh, I think it was great for gaming, and I'll tell you why. Because that people.
Man.
No, okay, there was, but dude, I've got a ton of great Wii games. But beside that point, but beside, hey, dude, I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer. Yeah, I got a ton, dude. I can fucking, I'll name them.
Hey, crap! I'm not. Hey, Chuck, you know you're my brother from another mother. Please tell me one must-have title on the Wii. I need to know this right now, brother. I'm
What's
right
that?
on right now.
Dude, look at
one that must-have goddamn game on the Wii.
Mario Galaxy, Mario Galaxy 2,
Yeah, that's right.
Metroid Prime.
Okay. What's up? We gave it credit. We listen to you, good brother.
Okay, so anyway, what I'm saying that there's a big difference.
Crap, I don't know why you fall for it every time, man. You fall for
Well,
it.
no, I mean, look, to each their own. But look, the Wii U didn't sell for a lot of reasons. First of all, you had
I
this
was
big
in those
bulky,
reasons.
you had this big bulky this big thing, the controller that people didn't like. That thing was that thing's terrible, right? And so
you seen the mock-up? That thing is not small.
well, we don't know. We don't know what it'll look like by the time we get it. I mean, like they could have a standard controller too. We don't know yet. It's like there's a lot of speculation involved. But the other thing is, you had confusion with the name as well because they were like, "Here's the Wii U," and they only showed this fucking controller. They never showed the console at E3. Never did. People were confused as hell. You know what I mean? Is this thing just like a controller add-on? What is it? You know what I mean? So I think that you had a lot of things going against it, and now with this, I think thing supposedly has AR, sort of like the Pokemon Go, so people want more of that type of thing. You're going to see a lot of things sort of, you're going to see a lot of the phone games and stuff on there, and a lot of just and it has the potential, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be like, but it's going to be a good. It's going to be a good alternative.
It's possible it could have a mobile. It could have a mobile tie-in, maybe or. The ability to play a game like Pokemon out in the open, where you're walking around in a field.
Yeah, and you're gathering and catching. That's different.
I mean,
gotta catch them all next gen. Gotta catch them all.
I get what I'm saying. I'm not even trying to be Debbie Downer.
Zaire Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to be Debbie Downer here. I just see it has more things going against it than positive. I understand it's unique. Nintendo's been being unique. They remind me of my gay uncle. He's been unique since fucking birth. It is what it is. My grandmother tell you. It is what it fucking is. But does that always work for him in his favor? I mean, in their favor, because even this handheld, this thing is not small. It's not something you can slide in your pocket. It has two screens. I mean, look at it. You have to put it down on the table with a stand. It's not something small. So The handheld.
But you can pop them off, and those are handheld. You know what I mean? Like,
here's my question: we're talking about a March release, right? Is that true or not true?
Yes. March 22nd.
that's what they say.
Nintendo's already made comments to let us know, basically, all but not the Wii U is dead. Okay, it's dead. So here's my point. Why do we as American citizens know who the United States is going to go to war with next way before we know what the fucking NX looks like? Why can't they show us what's going on? You don't have to tell us where the buttons placement are, what kind of contracts you have coming up. Let us know what it is. That's the one thing I got to say that is really bothersome to me in the video game industry. They are more, don't get me wrong, now I do understand if you're saying, well, Mooch, let's not get into the Xbox Scorpio yet because they're trying to sell S's. I get that. But here's a company in Nintendo that's they're letting the Wii U go by the way of the dodo bird. It's over with. It's over. Now we got to move on. Show us some pictures. Tell us what's going on. Stop the secrecy. Build your own hype because all you're doing is you're having podcasts and the media. Forget us, right? See, we always say ourselves, we're just the small guys. You're having the media wreck you. Already tear you a new ass, and you're starting 6 feet underground. I don't understand why they got to be so secretive. It's not necessary. It hurts their business.
You know what, Mooch? If you look at, don't get me wrong. There have been some, I guess, pro Nintendo, whatever, that have been kind of positive. But the public consensus that I've gotten, they were like, "Damn, this is the third generation in a row that Nintendo's bringing this." Because again, the far as the Wii U, and this is what I want to say, and it's not no hate, no slander. If you look at the Dr. Trays or whoever the hell the Obi-Wan plays, shout out to him too. Cool cat. I spoke to him also. Maybe doing something with him pretty soon. Anyway, but listen, fuck all that. So if you look at the videos prior, they would say, "Oh, that lets you know, it's running the Unreal Engine 4 and it's going to be a pretty capable system." What I'm saying is that we're praising it just to be on par with the quote unquote PlayStation 4. This is the vanilla. Now again, we're talking about this is their 9th generation offering, okay? Regardless of I don't give a fuck if they come out with a watch. This is their 9th generation offering. The NX should not be on par with hardware that came out in 2013. That's what I mean. It's no good for the gaming, whether it being unique and all that, so we don't play spec, but power is fucking important. You know what I mean? I don't mind them being unique and they doing what they do, but at least give the developers the tools or whatever, the mustard on a hot dog to make, like, come on, look at their goddamn games. Like, look at Zelda, and I'm not knocking those that like their games, but it's been the same thing. People praise Nintendo, well, at least their games work on launch. Yes, you've been doing the same 2D side-scroller from fucking 1984. You know what I mean? Do something different. Make it ambitious. The characters still don't fucking talk. You know what I mean? That market that they're appealing to gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Numbers don't lie. So who the fuck are they really making this thing hit for? That's my you said their core crowd or whatever. Even their core crowd, again, you mean to tell me their core crowd was less than 12 fucking million that went out and bought the fucking Wii U? I listened to what you're saying, crap about the offer, marketing, whatever the goddamn case may be. Shit, Microsoft came out and shot themselves on both fucking feet.
And what it is, Z, and it sucks because it really does come back down to the same thing. And I applaud you, Z, because you know why you're angry, and I don't blame you for being angry or putting a little emphasis in your word. It's because you wanted Nintendo to do good.
Yes.
The problem is, though, they are undisputably the RC Cola of video games. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's gonna happen. Listen, the thing is though, RC Cola never tries to be Coca-Cola. RC Cola never advertises during the Super Bowl. They could try to steal the limelight. No, they know they got that son of a bitch that wants a 2-liter for 88 cents. Right? That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Here in this case, okay, Nintendo.
This podcast, I'm just Mooch's hype man, just laughing at it. Like the whole podcast, I'm just hype man, like
if Nintendo, hear me out. If Nintendo can give you a $200 or a $250 console and give you portability and gives you something that looks like something like you just said that came out in 2013, which is something we have in our homes right now. Okay, they're going to be able to compete with we still have the PS4 vanilla, even though Neo's coming out. We still have the Xbox One and S, even though the Scorpio's coming out. So their NX is going to run on par with what Microsoft and Nintendo are saying, or excuse me, what Microsoft and Sony are saying are their 8th gen, initial.
In theory, I mean, because the Cuda cores can't be compared the same way. it's not going to have as much processing power as the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. But what I'm saying, at the end of the day, basically all that I'm saying is that conventional wisdom, most gamers, this gamers period, the way that the industry is going, motherfuckers just want a traditional console, a traditional controller, with they can play whatever. And again, you guys say that they would take them 2 years to to get the Call of Duties and what Nintendo's biggest problem, and none of you guys mentioned, and why that we're heavily invested within in the Sony ecosystem or the Microsoft. We don't every goddamn console Nintendo comes, they change the goddamn controller. Every fucking console that comes out, and I'm not gonna say anyone's name. I was talking to somebody pretty high up in the goddamn food chain within the video game industry day before last. We were talking, having a one-on-one conversation, and that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? It's that every console that they come out with, it's a new controller, and it's a new learning curve. You know what I mean? So I think that was ingenious. I think Sony started that shit before the pick. I mean, you had slowly little improvements to the DualShock. I don't even think it was called the DualShock back then, but from the PS1 to the PS2 to the PS3 to what we have now. But you look at from the NES to the Super NES, all right, cool, 2-button to 4-button, fine. Then you went from the Super NES, that controller, to the Nintendo 64. Like, God damn, that's a little weird. Then from that to the game controller, you're like, God damn, that's a little weird. Then that from the, you know what I mean? And it's been, I think, if all Nintendo had to do again was put out a console, say this on
just
par.
A basic,
listen here, take it on par with. Let's say the Neo, just on par with the goddamn Neo, right? This is their next generation. To cover themselves for whatever engines that may come out in the future. You know what I mean? Because what happened with the Wii U, why it didn't get a lot of the third-party support, they put out a quote-unquote a next-generation console that could run any next-generation engine.
But next gen, you got to also look too.
Yes.
Why would they put a powerful console out if they not gonna get third-party support?
No, but it's not that they can. It's not.
But they're not trying nothing. They're not even trying.
You know what? It wasn't that the Wii U, because they did start off with third party. They had the Tekkens and all this stuff. But again, when the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, and they went to Ubisoft, their next generation engine and all that stuff. All these next generation engines could not run on the Wii U. You understand what I'm saying? So, even look at Batman. What's the Batman Arkham? Even though they used Unreal Engine 3, like, they didn't have enough RAM. The goddamn console was anemic. You know what I mean? That stopped a lot of... Because you couldn't get Star Wars Battlefront on a goddamn Wii U or, the Division on the goddamn Wii U.
If they sell enough of them, if they sell enough of these things, third parties will port... I know, but they will port games. Look, the Wii had Call of Duty 4.
It had Call of Duty.
It doesn't matter. They still had it. You know what I'm saying? They might not be the same versions, but they're still. If this thing sells well, then developers will jump on board.
Right. You have an install base of over 180 million for the PS3 and the 360, and a lot of the major third-party games that came out this generation did not come on the goddamn 360 and the PS3. There's no bigger market than that because you can't. Sometimes you just can't shoehorn shit in. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? Fucking Mortal Kombat, love it to death. It skipped the goddamn 360.
You got to look at it like this. Next gen, everybody ain't rich like Microsoft. Can't too many people say they have the most powerful console of all time.
Yeah. But speaking of numbers, this would be a great time for Microsoft to throw out some numbers right at the end of August after Xbox One S sales come out. Because Sony
information about that.
Good, I want to hear about it, and this would be a great time to segue because my point is that Sony just came out and said 43.5. Okay, they're back to shipped again.
What I said all along.
Right. So now, if we can get if you can have Microsoft come out and say something like we're at 34, I'm making something up right now, 34, I'll show that we're less or around 10 million apart from these guys. Oh, that ship has sailed. We've said this since day one. Microsoft with the 360 took off in one last generation, but when it came down to it, just before the very end of last generation, Sony dropped their price. And everything kind of got caught up, right? We were pretty much they won by 4 million. That's nothing in the big grand scheme of things. My point being is that
1 year they said they were up. Unless the PS3 came back and surpassed it. Aaron said about 2 Black Fridays ago when he was still friendly with us or whatever the case. He was like, he made a post on Twitter that the 360 had surpassed the PS3 again. Whatever year that was, the 360 outsold the Wii U. that year right there alone.
They were like neck and neck. At the end of the thing, they were like, they were tie. It was always
whatever the case may be. He said they did it
exactly.
But I'm listening to what you're saying, though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My point being is this would be a great attack right now for Microsoft to reveal some sort of numbers, however they feel comfortable. I know they're more comfortable in saying Xbox Live users, which is that alone. When are people going to snap out of it? I've been saying this for a very long time. Stop with the console sales. There's a reason that the Xbox group doesn't really care that Sony has 10 million, 15 million more consoles sold more. You have 50 million Xbox Live users. That is 50 million people pressing the button to purchase digital content.
Booch, can I say something too? Like Sony has been on this 40 to 43 million mark for 6 to 8 months now, right? Like they were like, we're at 40. Yeah. No, we're at 40 now. Now we're at 43.5. Woo! I mean, there's obviously something going on there. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think I'm one of the only smart enough ones to fucking to call this out. People are like messaging me. They're like, no crap, they're not slowing down. I'm like, are you kidding? They're switching their tactic already. They've been hovering around this 40 to 43 mark now for like 8 months. First they said 40 million shipped, then 40 million sold.
It's always been shipped. That's just some shit shipped that I've heard.
They sold through.
Yeah, sold through.
Hey, here's the thing, right? Sony as a company, and we've been saying this for years, they are on borrowed time. All their eggs are in the PlayStation basket, and eventually that basket's going to break because console gaming is evolving, it's changing. Sony got lucky this generation. They've done nothing to earn the spot that they're at. Nothing to earn it. So when it falls down around them, that's the only thing they're going to have. They used to be a multi-billion-dollar company. TVs, this, that, fucking that, the other thing. You know, they were bigger than Microsoft in the 80s, and you know what I mean? Yeah. And now you have them making like $400 million a year or profit or whatever a quarter, and that's fucking incredibly low.
They just sold their battery division. That literally the PlayStation is the only thing afloat.
You know it's bad when Microsoft announced the Scorpio, and Yoshida went into hiding. You ain't even see him at E3 hardly.
You know what happened with Sony? To be honest with you, for their business,
that dude went in hiding, baby.
But even for that, I will give Sony credit. They always kind of push technology, you know what I mean? Just the problem is that Sony always had that fucking $1,000 extra fucking price tag on their televisions. Not saying they didn't make great sets because they do, but then you had the competitor, which, you know, I mean, this was back when Sony was the Apple back then, you know what I mean? But then you had these, you know, you compare like Samsung that would give you the same TV with the same specs or maybe slightly under for $1,100 cheaper. And that got me scratched up. Like, God damn, this one is way too high. And now I'm into TVs, you know, I love gadgets, you know what I mean? That's my thing, and I think, especially when people went on this whole, back, let's see, with 2005, 2006, when everybody started buying these high-definition televisions, you know what I mean? What year they officially went from analog to digital? Like, that was a big boom, you know what I mean? And Sony, you know, their televisions, you know, then were just too high. But even with them missing what do you call it, the iPod, and you think about Sony fucking... Jesus Christ, runs fucking entertainment, music, movies. You know what I mean? You know, fucking what's that? Columbia, Epic, all they got so many different.
Well, listen, we say it all the time, guys. I'm gonna hear you know, somebody start playing a little violin music behind this while I speak. You know, my point is this: we sit here and bash people like, "Oh, Mooch, you just hate Sony. You just hate Sony." Let me say something positive for a minute. Zaire has said it a million times. I've even heard Crap say it. I know Tim said it. Show's been saying it since day one. We need Sony as much as we need Microsoft, and that goes vice versa. And here's the problem. Instead of the media doing their job, instead of them doing their job where the writing is on the wall when you look at every quarter, don't look at just what PlayStation's making. Look at how Sony is selling divisions, selling property, selling IP, selling their stock in Square Enix, selling everything they have just to keep the lights on in PlayStation. No, what does the media do? They keep on saying, Sony, 13% up, thanks to PlayStation. Why don't you report the real problem? There's a lot of problems in Sony. And the media, the reason I say this is because we need Sony to be there. Because without Sony, Microsoft doesn't have the encouragement to step on the gas, okay? That's where all this came from. Part of this, we heard you, Console and Scorpio. Half of it is from the consumers, and the other half is the consumer's voice to Microsoft based on what Sony did by a sneak attack in this generation. So my point being is that You have to have both. My argument, you're like, well, Mooch, why are you screaming, man? We all agree with you. The reason I'm screaming is because the media hasn't done their job. Yes. Why isn't anybody digging to find out how hurt Sony is? What's going to happen next generation? Have Sony start to step on the gas, be more, ingenuitive, be more creative, get us to go out there and spend money. Sony's not making it. Nobody's buying PSN Plus, PS Plus. Nobody's buying any of that. It's 50 million to 20-something million. That's a travesty. When you're sitting in a boardroom and you're looking at who's selling my digital sales right now, and you're like, why is Microsoft, a company that's 15 million consoles short of ours, outselling us 2-to-1 on software? Tell me why. Why is this happening? And there's no answer for it. Yes, there's the easy answer. It's infrastructure, or we like this, or I'm a Halo fan. Realistically, it's all of the above. It's all of the above that Microsoft has done right. And that's the difference. It's all about the software. It's not about the console sold. Microsoft's actually laughing because more people are making purchases. It's the same thing like this. When you're a hockey player, it's all about more shots on goal. If you look at the statistics, the more you shoot at a goalie, no matter how good he is, if you have 60 shots, most likely 3 or 4 are going in. If you only have 20 shots and he's that good, maybe you'll get 1. If you have 50 million people online, there's that much more of a percentage that are hitting the buy button over the 20 million on PS Plus, PSN. That's a huge problem. And this is the thing. Where's the media? Why is it we're the ones reporting it? Why are we talking about this? They just said Sony sold the battery division. That's a huge problem.
Well, you know what? I will say this. It's good for us, maybe the gamer, because maybe they could double down on what counts. They can cut off the shit that's bleeding and causing to lose money. At the end of the day. But I'll be honest with you. I could imagine a world without Sony, just even in the movie fucking department. Look at all the great, movies.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, right? Come on, I mean,
Ghostbusters. Sony got a lot of fucking, at the end of the day, man.
Next gen, I'm gonna laugh at you a little bit, but okay.
No, I'm just saying. But could you fucking imagine a world without no fucking?
I mean, obviously, competition's good.
It was some of the Marvel movies they made.
Well, no, they don't do Marvel. They got the Spider-Man license. They got the Spider-Man license.
But they rented it out to Marvel now, so now Marvel.
He's back. They're doing Spider-Man, whatever the fuck. They reboot is back over there with Sony again.
They do those movies kind of decent, but I ain't really seen a good,
They make a lot of shit. Sony they make a lot of shit. What's that shit that Denzel was in? That was the Equalizer. What that shit was?
Equalizer, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good goddamn movie.
Well, listen, you look at Sony. I mean, I've bought Sony TVs.
Sony makes great television.
My whole life. They used to be the #1 TV.
Yeah. Good point, Tim. Used to be.
Yeah, well, right now the thing with Sony, what I see, and I see with Microsoft definitely could do better in the multi-plats division. Obviously they got hurt with Xbox One, but Scorpio might change that. But with Sony right now, when we talk about eggs in a basket, you look at Sony PlayStation VR, and they really need that to be as successful as they think that it's going to be. Because if it isn't,
they put a lot in it. Yeah, they just lost a lot of money.
That might affect the overall division. So, I mean, that's where they stand right now. I mean, as far as the media, the media always seems to give them a pass, and Microsoft gets chewed out about fucking the smallest shit, whether it be a power option to start your console.
But why is that though? Besides,
I don't know. We've talked about this.
I understand, but what I don't understand. Not saying I don't understand, but you say the resolution thing, and we can kind of segue into this because I heard some juicy shit from.
Which I can confirm what you're gonna say.
About the yes being more powerful than the vanilla.
No. Well, that's a whole different thing. But no,
this is what I heard.
I was talking about the Neo.
No. You can tell me what you heard. But as far as the Xbox One S, remember what's my man name from the Gears of War?
Rod Ferguson.
Yeah, he came out and said that it is slightly more powerful, and Phil came out and hushed him up right away. When they tore it, someone quote unquote, I'm not gonna say name, when they tore it down or whatever, even though the GPU is what do you call custom. But it's using Polaris, and they think they said they're going from 12 CUs to either 14 or 16 CUs. So we may even see the resolution thing as far as some of the 720p games that have been constant as far as the vanilla Xbox One kind of fade away with as far as the Xbox One S, and that's going to be the introduction to the Microsoft's ecosystem going forward, because it is slightly more powerful than than the vanilla Xbox One. And I heard again from somebody pretty reputable, like Phil wasn't, maybe not to piss people off, but he wasn't as honest that it is a slightly, it's using Polaris, quote unquote.
Well, they already said that it was slightly more powerful, but they're using it for HDR.
Yeah, they said
But the HDR isn't programmed in Windows and DirectX 12.
Yeah, well,
that's that's there on that end. But I'm just saying, they just saying that it's going from 12 CUs to like either 14 or 16.
Yeah, I heard
CUs.
that the 10 to 11. I don't know if that's true. What my point was with the media and how they push certain narratives. I can tell you right now that the Neo is built on 4K upscaling. It's called 2K checkerboarding. Crap, seen the doc.
Yeah.
Crap, if you watch that video that you have. I don't know if you watched it fully. I watched it fully.
I did. It was the most boring fucking thing I ever seen in my life.
Well, it's one video. What's up? Fill me in.
He has
You're gonna have to put it in the thing.
Oh no, we can't put this in. This is
okay. That's
stuff that.
Oh, you talking about with the developers' ID number?
Yeah.
Those are the official specs.
Well, that was the documents, but I also have a video that they sent out. It's a newer one. And,
right, which was 2 months ago, like a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay, they do an overview of all the things that they're doing. Basically, and if you look at that video, crap, at the end when you see the ICE developer when he's talking, they recommend that you use 2K checkerboarding to upscale to 4K. They even say you could do 4K, but we don't recommend it. Now, herein lies where my point is. Okay, we heard so much about how 900p upscale makes it look like a blurry mess. We can't, now we're going into a generation where Xbox is going to be able to play games natively in 4K, and Sony Neo is going to be using this just checkerboard rendering technique.
Why so much as a pushback? Because
what? All I'm saying is that we better be consistent, because if they're not consistent, then
who's not consistent?
The media, because there was so much pushed against this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
All we want now is consistency, because you made your bed, now you're gonna have to sleep in it. So
that's what I'm saying. Because
I'm gonna hold on.
They're not gonna do it. They're gonna still pump Sony.
We need. Tim, I want to add a little fuel to the fire, though. I applaud you for what you just said about the media, but I am actually going to hold the same coals to the fire for the developers, because those bastards all came out and made a 1080p version for the PS4 on almost every multi-plat the first 2 years, and decided to go 900p on multiple games when we know they could have worked a little harder to get to 1080p, and they didn't want to do it. So I don't want to hear nothing. I understand we have the Universal Windows platform to help us in this situation, so this may be a non-subject at the end. But I don't want to dare see them not make a game for the Scorpio that can't handle what it can handle, because they want to stay on parity with 1080p for the PS4.
100%. And that's a great point. And, I've talked to some people about this. We, the gamer, have to demand, us, the Xbox fan, have to demand 4K. Okay, we have to demand it. And you're right. You cannot have a thing where, we remember PS4 no parity with the game Assassin's Creed. Well, now it's coming home to roost the other way. And you know what? The developers better do the right thing, and
okay. Well, I have a question.
But you know what, Tim? I still think that's an easy transition, because if they're making it a multi-plat and they're making it for the PC, and PC definitely got to have that scaling ability or that native. They should do it for the
should
Scorpio
port
as well. Yeah, it should be a straight port. So I don't think that'd be a problem, depending on the game, and if it.
We can't even say that so much, because leave it up to probably some developer. I'm not gonna say any name. I told you what that one developer told me about the servers. He said it would be no fair to Sony if they would have used Microsoft. I'm not gonna say your name on the air. Was about a very popular multi-plat that I love to fucking play. And he said, if Microsoft has dedicated servers, why are you guys not using them? He motherfucker told me it wouldn't be no fair to Sony and their fan base if they would have used that. So we can't even say that, you know what I mean? They might come out and say the same shit.
We can't make it. But you got to think of it, though. It's 2 to 1.
What do you mean?
Right now, it's 2-1 PC and console.
But
So
that's
it's
just
2-1,
in the
so
Windows
that's
store. As far as Microsoft's exclusives, we're talking about the multi-plats. I
No, I'm
don't
talking
even
about
think Microsoft selling multi-plats inside the goddamn Windows store. You know, people are gonna buy their multi-plats from Steam.
The initial make is always on a PC.
Yeah,
Right?
I get what I'm saying is just I get that, you know what I mean, but you know, as far as people are gonna, well, I say with developers like this, they're as far as I can see. Well, okay, that's why what's my man name from Epic was fussing, you know what I mean, saying that Microsoft was trying to bully the goddamn industry. They can use one code, which is true. You know what I mean, Tim Sweeney, they can just which is ingenious that developers can just make one goddamn game, one code for PC and console. This bitch is scale up or scale down, you know what I mean? But we are talking about how shit has been rigged, and you gotta realize this, that Sony does have the market share. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
for now.
So, for whenever.
I already said this. Lock it in. By the end of the generation, Xbox will surpass the PlayStation 4.
I agree.
It's gonna happen. It's like I feel it. You can just see the way that we don't know. Yeah, I do. Look, the S is going to be huge. The cheapest 4K Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? Incredible price.
Sony's doing it. Is Sony's Neo going to do it?
We don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
I didn't say anything about HDR either.
I don't think say the HDR, but you have to assume they're going to have HDR.
One thing you have to
be getting into the tools that has Microsoft has been paying for that. Has been investing in that in the Windows 10 and the X12.
Listen, Z, the one thing we know about Sony is whenever they're sure, they pound their fist and pout their chest. The only thing I really knew coming out of the Sony E3 conference was I knew they had a really nice orchestra. And that's about the only thing I knew.
This
round of applause, man. Hold on, man. Hold up. God damn.
Yo, they didn't show us anything else. I left that and I was like, holy shit, they had a better orchestra than I.
Expect this. After Microsoft takes the NPDs with the S launch and takes NPDs for 3-4 months in a row, which they're going to do, lock that in. Sony's going to come out and swing. Yes. Hold on, let me get my zinger in. Then Sony's going to announce their numbers. 43.7 million shipped. Boom! They went up 0.2. That's what I'm talking about. Because that thing's like a fucking turtle now, man. They're like, we got 40 million. 40 million. 43.5 million shipped, guys.
Let me ask you a question,
It is a sad thing.
It's true. Well, you guys, that is something big. Now, the S does come out Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, right? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. All right, let me get my money in order.
You're right, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, so they have the market to themselves. August, September, when console supposed to come out in October. That's a big thing. The Neo's going to be hot. Do you think they can outsell the Neo?
The fuck? The Neo what? We haven't heard shit about it. Sony's running
Neo's
scared.
Supposed to come in,
October 13th.
October, yeah.
October 13th. Do you think that's a big feat, though?
Well,
yeah.
You're
looking at $299 versus probably $450. So yeah, do I think it can beat it? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're gonna have PlayStation 4 sales.
There's still not gonna be any fucking games on the thing.
No Man's Sky, baby.
But they still.
Did you hear about that? No Man's Sky apparently was full of bugs and crashes.
I saw Red Drake.
It's a 6 gig game from a fucking 15-person studio that took 6 years to make. That the guy's crying about on fucking live TV. He still can't explain what the fuck the game is about. Can anybody tell me what it's about? Please.
A guy spent $1,300 for this shit on eBay.
Anybody, please. Anybody. What's the game about?
Well, I don't know. I guess we're gonna see, but supposedly.
Hey, look, I can fucking.
When's it come out?
It comes out
August 9th, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's multiple reports, and I don't know if we're jumping segue here, but there's multiple reports that No Man's Sky is still broken on the PS4. I mean, multiple people are reporting this. I'm sure there's a couple of copies out there floating around. This is a travesty. You've got this guy. This is going to wreck this guy. He was crying on stage because he was so excited that he was shown for the first time to so many millions of people. Can you imagine the amount of... maybe Kleenex is going to endorse him. I don't know if maybe he's going to have a lot of tears coming up. You know what I mean? With this is going to be an absolute bust. And this is one of the games that are supposed to be leading into Sony's fall holiday sales. It's not good. It's so not good. I mean, Tim, did you hear anything about the actual game? I've been hearing from people tweet me all the time, but you got to take that with a grain of salt.
Did a seven, like the 7 levels of acceptance.
Yes.
Where like somebody did on Reddit just came out. Supposedly, a lot of the stuff that they said or the people thought is not really fruition. So I don't know. The game's out. I'm reading some of the things. Some people are saying that it looks boring. Some people says it looks amazing.
What's No Man's Sky? No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky.
Hey, I mean, how come we haven't talked about this shit yet, right? How about this? The fact that you need 61 square feet to play PlayStation VR.
Well, how big is that? That's pretty big, bro.
That's like 9 by 9 or 10 by 10 or something. It's a fucking huge area.
So what you saying? Huh? Correct?
Yeah,
I guess if like
amount of space.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying on BGST Live that Black Bond doesn't have enough room in his attic to play VR? No one he's fucking riding on. Jesus Christ.
But you know what? I know, dude. Trust me. When I tell jokes on Xbox Nation, nobody laughs. It's like they don't fuck it. I'm like, you motherfuckers, man. But anyway, yeah. Here's the thing, man. Right? Look, nobody's talking about this, right? Like the media is damage controlling this, right? They're for Sony.
The media won't even.
Well, remember Connect. Hey, you guys remember Connect, right? Connect is never going to do anything. Not in Japan. They have small houses. Yeah. They don't have enough room because you need to be 5 feet back or whatever.
Yeah, San Francisco. Remember San Francisco? The apartments are small. How are we supposed to actually enjoy something like this?
100%. The media they really do. They do a good job of fucking just giving them a pass on everything and fucking grilling Microsoft on everything. Yeah. I mean, the ability, go on with what you're saying. But to interject what was saying, also, there's games that are going to require the move, even though that they're saying that they could work on a controller. That you're going to need the freaking glow sticks, and you're going to need the camera. So the media is not after them for saying that it's $399. Really, if you really want to be, factual about it, it's $500. So again, this is a clear-cut case of the kid gloves, pet gloves that Sony gets. Like I saw the 60 feet thing, and I've been not dealing with, but like I remember what they said about Kinect.
Yes.
Everyone said it would fail, and that's where
it was high priced. It was overpriced, and it was only 150. Yet I haven't heard anybody say that this is overpriced. Fucking $500 for this shit. You know what I mean?
Games and you need coming out with. Where are the games? Show me the games, Sony. They don't have them.
Got rigs. I got rigs, bro. What more do you need?
Let me ask you a question.
Danger Ball.
Let me ask you
Danger Ball. You got Office Simulator.
What you got? You got a couple big multiplayer. You got Tomb Raider that's supposed to have a VR component. Call of Duty.
Yeah,
so that's what they're gonna hang on the back of that.
It's not a lot of this stuff like the Batman.
Yeah, it's just a little portion of it.
You're fucking putting on a bat helmet and you're doing things like that.
But that's what they're gonna sell. They're gonna sell it on that though. That's what they're gonna hang it on.
Yeah,
it's like they say it's like an hour. It's an hour experience or whatever, right?
But could you imagine leaving this in your head for 8 hours going to defeat the game?
No.
You fucking pass out. But I have a question for you guys. And I want the truth. You know what I mean? R.I.P. the showstopper. He passed away. He's gone. But I got a question. What do you think was the biggest fail?
The gout. Rest in peace.
The gout got his ass. What do you think was the bigger L? Quantum Break for Microsoft or Street Fighter V for Sony?
Street Fighter V? Are you kidding me?
If the audience doesn't know, it just came out that they didn't sell one copy within the whole quarter. God.
That means they overshipped. That's what they did sell some during the time.
I heard they didn't sell not one copy.
Well, now isn't that? I want to expand on what Tim just said. They overshipped. And that's probably the same trash we're seeing worldwide on the consoles as well.
Probably why it's coming to Xbox.
It is coming?
I mean, there's
they say no. So
there was a few rumors. So I mean,
it was a bad. Listen, that's a bad business deal. Again, we don't have the same type of people calling it out that Tomb Raider with Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider looks like it was more successful. I mean, this was a game that they launched, broken essentially. Street Fighter V.
Okay.
There's no pushback, and that's why we're getting all the good shit. Is because guess what? all the media does is hate on Microsoft and push them, and they give pet gloves to the kid gloves to Sony. Guess what? Now you fucked up Street Fighter V. Yeah. The franchise, we don't even know if you'll get a turbo.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys. Do you think this can happen? I don't know. Does Sony have? Did they publish the game? Did they have publishing rights or whatever?
No, I don't think they published it. I think that was an Adam Boyes. That was an Adam Boyes deal or something.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is this: maybe for a few dollars. Hear me out. Don't kill me. No, with me for a few dollars. Of course, 2016, 2017. Maybe they can give Sony a few dollars back, or whatever the case may be, Microsoft or whatever, to release Street Fighter V on the Xbox One or Scorpio, whatever, to grow the install base to warrant a Street Fighter 6, because with those sales right there, that franchise is in jeopardy. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? For the greater. I mean, come on, like, who's really gonna be thinking about Street Fighter 5 next year? You understand what I'm saying? This way, the same way that Sony now is getting Dead Rising 1 or 2 when those Xbox 360 exclusives back then, or so, whatever the case may be. Like, who the fuck really cares? Like, who's gonna care within a year or so if Street Fighter 5 goes? Like, do any Xbox fan care that Tomb Raider's going to PS4 now? It's done. We played it. We had it already.
I already played it on 360 and Xbox One.
That's what I was going to say. For the better good of the franchise. You know what I mean? Because I like Street Fighter. It's a good game. You know, the game looks good graphically and all that. You know, but that's what
they fucked it up, man. No arcade mode. None of, you know what I mean? Like, there was no story at launch. Like, you can't expect people to play. You can't expect people to pay $60 for a game that doesn't
I agree with that, crap.
any content. You know what I mean? They should have done it just like Killer Instinct.
I agree with that. Listen, I'm not. Right. I do. Or they should have waited till the game was complete and finished. But I want to say this again to you PC dicklickers, because that game is on fucking Steam. You motherfuckers don't buy games. How many fucking millions? Like to tell me, there's 200 million goddamn PCs in the world. None of you motherfuckers bought Street Fighter 5. So get the fuck out of here. You don't count. That's what I'm talking about. You know, that game is on 2 platforms, speaking, and it's still only sold 1 million fucking copies. 1.2 or something like that. They didn't make their money back. So do you think we may see a Street Fighter 6? I hope so.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? With these big games, I think that these exclusives for these big third-party games are people. They're gonna start rethinking these because they're not doing as well. You know what I mean? Like with Street Fighter V, right? That sold incredibly well on 360. You know,
if they were smart, they would just fucking get out of that deal and just make a Street Fighter 6, because you know.
Is the damage done though? I mean, the damage may be done. Jesus.
I mean, I don't know, but you know, this hurt them. I mean,
the brand is damaged.
That's what I'm saying.
It's damaged, and you look at, you know, a lot can be said about Xbox. You can bash it all, but you know what? We buy games, man. We bought Street Fighter for it was always in the tournaments, and we play those games. We have a lot of gamers that would buy that game, so
that's what I'm trying to say.
I think if they look back at the deal, it's definitely a bad deal. But you know,
maybe they can. That's what I'm saying. Could they renegotiate it? Maybe Phil come to the table.
Don't sound like it. They were talking a lot of shit.
Who, Capcom?
Yeah, they were like saying, "Oh, well, you know, don't expect any kind of extensions. This is exclusive for the life of 5. This is that." You know, they thought they were riding this PS4 wave at the time, and they thought Microsoft wasn't going to make a dent. But here's the reality: they lost a big segment of people that buy their games, and you know what? They double hurt themselves. They shot themselves in the foot twice. They fucking released the game broken, and it did not work. And you know, it wasn't finished. So they really shot themselves in the foot here. For me, if I was them, I would just say, you know what, let's just try to get out of this and just get into Street Fighter 6, and you know, or try to get Microsoft.
Well, first of all, didn't they seem like they rushed it a bit? Like, remember, PS4 had PS4 had no fucking games out, right?
That's probably why they rushed it.
For February.
Because of what you just said, crap. If you look at the time, there wasn't a game that came out. For how long? A big game.
It was, because I can tell you right now, I went from AAA exclusives that I bought new. I went from The Order 1886 all the way until Uncharted 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what else came out? What else came out? They had the Ratchet and Clank.
Well, that's my point. See, when I ask people all the time, what do you remember about PS4? What's the game? You know what the number one answer everyone always says is? Bloodborne. Bloodborne is Dark Souls. It's the same exact engine that Dark Souls 3 is running off of. So my point is, Sony's had nothing this entire generation. The Order was a flop. Ratchet & Clank is a remake of something that came out in 1998. Nobody cares. Like, who cares? Great, you did good for a month. They've had nothing. No Man's Sky, rushed, broken. They've got Gran Turismo Sport. The fact that you're putting the word sport at the end shows me it's already a hack job.
Hey, sport.
Hey, sport.
Meanwhile, freaking Forza Horizon fucking 3 is gonna have HDR. Looks amazing.
Look for a 90+ meta. It will not be denied. It will not be denied.
I got a question.
A big game for sure.
I got a question for you rock stars of the panel with BGS. Do you have a question? So 2017, Sony. Besides Microsoft riding, of course, the Scorpio's coming out next year, but you have Horizon Zero Dawn. It's coming out in the beginning of the year, right?
I say wait for reviews for that before anybody buys it.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'd say something I would be interested in.
What game?
You got Horizon Zero Dawn, something I will buy. I'm interested in. But what else do they have coming out that's in 2017? The games that they showed at E3 are like 2018 and beyond.
That's it.
So besides, and I know they call me, now they call me the level head one of the group because y'all guys are the Sony fanboys. So again, I'm asking my Sony fanboy audience out there that are watching the show, and I'm not even trying to be funny. What big AAA exclusives besides that baseball? We know you're getting baseball, but besides that, and Horizon Zero Dawn, what do you guys have for 2017?
They're gonna say some Japanese crap, I'm sure. Right? I mean,
Persona 5.
What did you say, 5? Well, I thought Persona 5 was this year.
No, Persona 5. That's not a AAA in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you're right. They definitely they're going to be kind of light.
That's what I'm going to say. This is the double-edged sword here. Normally, fine, Sony doesn't have anything. What do? They fall back on the multi-plat. We have 1080p, 1080p. Now, going forward, they're no longer going to have that ace up their sleeve anymore. They're not going to have the better version of the
I got news for you, Zaire. A lot of their things are riding on PSVR. That's when I told people 2 years ago or 3 years, a year ago, that they're going to be focused on PlayStation VR. That is the God's honest truth. Now, if you think that that's not going to take a hit on the other side, on the console side of just playing traditional gaming, you're wrong. Because you're going to have developers making games for that. You look at GT Sport, okay? The part of that game is you could actually put the VR headset and you could see the cars. You compare the cars. What is there, 150 cars? I mean, the car counts are not even close to what Forza 6 is going to be or
Is it an expansion or is it actually a game? Are they calling this an actual game? Is it like that same GT Sport thing they did?
This is not supposedly in the line of GT games. It's not GT7, so it's like
that prologue they had before.
Yeah, exactly. It's that shit.
Can I make a very, very odd speculation here, though, Tim?
Okay.
Here we are going into the third Christmas, going to be the fourth year upcoming. I think we're done giving Sony the pass and saying, well, they're working. If you have the audacity to come out on the third Christmas with a Gran Turismo Sport, which I agree with you, Tim. Everything you just said, I agree with. That this is not in the Gran Turismo family. Well, excuse me, it's in the family, but not one of the in line. Okay. At this point, Gran Turismo is deceased. Because at that, you already have Forza 5, Forza 6 out, Forza Horizon 2, Forza Horizon 3. You can't tell me that one studio that made Gran Turismo in 4 years, plus the absence of what it was between PS3 and PS4 coming out, couldn't put together a Gran Turismo 7. Something is wrong, and that something is what you said, Tim. I'm really piggybacking on what you said. They invested wholeheartedly on PSVR. Tim knows what's going on. Tim's heard this. But if you don't want to even believe Tim or I watched that Kind of Funny Games channel with Greg Miller and that Colin Moriarty, and they did an interview with Yoshida, not this E3, but last E3, or just after that. And Greg Miller turned to Colin Moriarty and said, Colin, you don't understand. After speaking to Yoshida behind the scenes, they're fully, Sony is fully invested in PSVR. So what Tim is saying is dead balls accurate.
They won't see it or realize it. Oh, good. Hey, guys, Spelunky and Warriors of Orochi are now available to download. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, don't forget, you PlayStation fans, get your Tricky Towers download.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, yeah, you're 100% right, and we've been saying it all along. Their money, their time, their studios, all are dedicated to PlayStation VR, just like Microsoft was when the Kinect was out originally, right?
Mhm.
And and like even if you were on top, yeah, even if you liked it, it hurt what we got. Like we suffered, we didn't get our exclusives because everybody was busy working on Kinect stuff. That same thing is going to happen to the PlayStation 4, and they're going to be too stupid to realize it.
Oh wow. Well,
you know what? They'll damage control it because we talked about three. What game do they? They have GT Sport, which is not even a fucking inline series. What other game do they have?
This holiday, well, they have
They have that Oi Oi song. They have that Oi Oi game. What the hell is that?
The Last Opossum. Whatever fuck.
The Last Guardian. Which,
They
by
have
the way, is on a P. It looks like a PS3 game. I mean,
Yeah.
it might be good. I don't know, but
Hey, guys,
it's definitely not a game that's it's cutting edge graphics.
Right now, which game is going to get the lowest score? GT Sport, The Last Guardian, or No Man's Sky?
Oh God, that's a great question.
Give it to me again.
Which game is going to score the worst? GT Sport, The Last Guardian, or No Man's Sky?
That is a good question.
I want to say No Man's Sky because of technical.
Will they call it out for that though? I don't even think they're calling it out.
They're gushing over fucking No Man's Sky. So I mean,
I have a feeling that thing's gonna score in the 60s though.
No,
dude. If you're playing it on PS4 and that thing's crashing, you have to score that low.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it's crashing the system.
I will say this. Put out a post I saw. I don't know where doing that. I saw that.
Yeah, I saw Red's too. I wrote to him. I said, Red, nice work getting that out there. Because at least when Red does it, there's some credibility. God forbid. If the actual developer called me and said, Mooch, we're crashing PS4s left and right, and I had him on audio, people still wouldn't believe it if I put it out there.
We've never seen the game running on a PS4. Think about that. We've never seen it running on a PS4. It's always been PC because they couldn't get it running on the PS4 spec.
But doesn't it still have some VR?
Why, dude? There's no way that they could be VR component because it can't even run on the PS4.
Yeah, he's right.
Oh wow!
Like they said it would be great. We would love to have it.
That's
VR.
a great question though. I'm gonna go with GT Sport. I just think that it's gonna be 77.
I'm gonna say The Last Guardian because I think that thing's gonna score ridiculously low. We've already seen previews even from Eurogamer, who usually is like wiping off the Sony jizz off their mouth daily, but they're like, wow, The Last Guardian plays like shit, looks like shit, it's clunky. You know what I mean? So I think that game's gonna score possibly in the 50s.
It's not my type of game. But
I think it'll do well.
Oi!
Yeah, look, you know what? I never played any of the Last Guardian, so I was trying to see what the hype was about, and I wasn't really in this.
It's a good Team Ico has made a lot of good games. So
they're not even Team Ico anymore, though. That's the
Shadow Colossus. I mean, yeah, I've always seen them. When I was on my Xbox thing, Xbox Live, when those games were coming out.
The problem is, though, you've got people fainting in the stands and lighting a match at E3. Realistically, the realistic gamer, the gamers that are out there today, they're not fucking playing that game. Nobody.
You like that one?
Yeah, you know what it is?
Last
Guardian.
You know what it is? That they like to, for quote unquote the console war, whatever. They like to brag about those exclusives and buy. Even with us, how many motherfuckers talked about Quantum Break and didn't go out? And that's a great fucking game. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it.
Sunset Overdrive, a great fucking game that no one fucking bought it.
Well, I think the fact is there's a lot of hardcore. There's a lot of hardcore gamers, and we think that we're the de facto, where we're actually the minority.
Yeah, we are.
The casual kid or the casual family was all about, hey, COD. That's that's basically the reality of it.
Hey, I'm getting COD.
I just fainted. I just saw fucking. What game would Xbox faint over? We should have people fainting in the stands.
Yeah, nobody faints when Bill's up there.
Probably, I don't know. We already got Halo. Maybe should bring back Fable. I think.
Listen, Fable's coming back, Z. So get ready.
Like my fucking case of herpes. Yeah, every 6 months.
Listen, exactly. Put your seatbelt on. That shit's coming back. That's not a problem.
How can you bring that shit back without them? Like again. I don't understand it. I was banging my goddamn head on the wall. Like that's just like.
Wait a minute. Listen. Wait a minute.
That was a downfall.
Zaire.
That was low.
They brought back Star Wars and Star Trek with J.J. Abrams. They can do anything. Listen, you can bring anybody, buddy. You can bring anybody back with another developer as long as they have talent. It doesn't have to be those guys. Because you see the way people are flip flopping all over the place in the developer seats. Nobody's loyal to anybody anymore.
Oh,
Adam Boyce was a Sony guy. Now he's making a fucking Xbox only game. Listen,
and everyone's calling him a traitor on IGN. They're calling him a traitor in the things. You gotta laugh.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What I'm saying is this: like you guys, I would say you guys are more Halo fans, much more than I am. I'm really big into Halo, but what I'm telling you guys, like Fable is what made me an Xbox dude. It wasn't Halo. That and Project Gotham, that was what sold me on the console I was head in. Like, that storyline to me of Fable, I fucking wrote that storyline. They had your mother in the basement, they was fighting that bitch like a pit bull, she was blind. Like, that shit was just so fucking epic to me, you know what I mean? That's what made me a fucking, Xbox fan. And for them to lose that or cancel it or whatever the goddamn game, please. Granted, maybe me being a fanboy, and I understand maybe, what's the name of the goddamn game? It was called Fable with Legends or whatever. Wasn't as good as, or whatever. But again, that path that they were making, open world, free to play shit, that all came from upstairs because you guys I'll say this again, Phil had Aaron's job, so when they pitched the game, Phil took that idea back to Donnie D, and Donnie D cut the check and started him, and making a goddamn game. You know what I mean?
Well, that was a mistake, and that was
I should have just been fucking Fable 4 and been done with it.
Yeah, they fucked that up.
You know what I mean? Shout out to us. What's my man name? The Godfather of the Xbox. Seamus Black. What's his name?
Seamus Black.
Yeah, I spoke to him behind the scenes. I maybe trying to do something with him soon. Like so he said. You know what I mean? My schedule's good night. You know what I mean? He did an interview back when. You know what I mean? And he was saying more or less that Microsoft would be foolish or not. I guess when he was in charge to try to merge the PC crowd and the console crowd together because he said. Because the PC gamer is a totally different customer or animal. They're looking at, not the same thing as a console gamer. Basically, we play the same game, still we playing Tekken Tag. A true PC guy want to strip everybody naked, put thongs on them, put a bunch of dildos. They're looking at it from a totally different spectrum, They're trying to merge them together. Do you think Microsoft still is a little, I don't know. Now that it's been done, it is happening, how do you guys feel about that now, still going forward?
It never mattered. And like to me, at first you're like, oh man, this sucks. But then at the end of the day, when I'm just gaming with people, it don't fucking matter to me one bit. And then outside of that, I don't, like the whole play anywhere means dick to me. It doesn't mean anything. Like I'm never gonna use it. It's just gonna, like here's the thing that you have like sort of like that stuff with PlayStation. Like that's not really a new concept. Like okay. you could take the PS or the PSP used to be able to do that kind of thing where you could start a game.
Up your game on me.
On the network or something.
Yeah, and same thing with the Vita. You could do that shit too, like take it around, but nobody really does it. You know what I mean? Like, so I get why Microsoft is doing that. I just think that Microsoft thinks that that's a bigger deal than it actually is.
Well, of course, they're popular games, whether it be Halo, Gears. To grow the Windows install base.
Well, guess what? When Gears and Halo comes out, when they announced, 450 million in Halo 5 sales. Well, when Halo 6 rolls out, now they can go like 700 million. You know what I mean? So it's going to sound fucking really good because let's be honest, people are going to buy those games on Windows and on
I still don't
Halo
think
it was on PC.
I don't think it was really done more or less for the gaming aspect. It was done to grow Windows. At the end of the bottom line.
At the end of the day, you look at the company itself, and I think that is part of the reasoning.
It is at the end of the day.
Does it affect our bottom line?
No, it doesn't.
As long as they produce the games, that's all we can hold them accountable. If they stop producing the games, then we have a point. Then we have a problem.
You're absolutely right, Tim. And I'm just speaking as a fanboy, as a fan. You know what I mean? It's just that, I know that it seems like Microsoft are bending and faltering more to taking everything. We get the games to go, but they don't pay for multiplayer, getting that goddamn game day and date. Like, what are our perks? That's the end of the day. It's us that made your product hip. I just don't want Microsoft to ever lose focus of that. You understand? Because it's us, not the PC side or whatever. It's us, the console guys, or me, you, the craps are out there at midnight. getting the consoles.
I think at the end of the day, when you get a Scorpio and it's $500, but it can match on the market, let's say a $1,500 PC. That's the type of.
You know what? You know why I'm getting a Scorpio, right? Because I can shove that down Pony's mouse and PC fanboy's mouse, right? Like, let's be honest.
So vocal, man. PC guys.
Yeah, the PC fanboys. The PC fanboys are the ones that are most fearful right now because there's no way to judge what they have aside from Steam telling us because they check the fucking stats without them knowing, and so they're like, guess what? The majority of people aren't even playing in 10, or they're only playing in 1080p. You know what I mean? Or less, right? So when you're talking Scorpio, a fucking home console that's going to be able to do 4K, 60 frames, fuck, dude, that's going to scare a lot of people. I think that's going to draw in PC gamers.
But here's the thing: even if it's not 60 frames, and as long as it's fucking 4K. But what I'm saying is,
you're gonna get fours and you're gonna get fours.
Fours and probably the 2Ks, probably the
Killer Instinct 4K.
Yeah, that's gonna be. So there are gonna be some 4K 60 games. You know what I mean? Well, 1080p 60 is better. Suck a dick. But what I'm saying is this though.
Yeah, how is that better? But
before we, but I'm gonna ask before we get the hell out of here because I've been, like you, crap. I remember you. I went at the PC guys or said something last year, and they fucking all came at people with fucking pitchforks. I just did a video just reporting the stats of what Steam reported. About 34% of their gamers, 1080p, or whatever the case may be, and less than 3% are able to game in 4K. And what I say, if you want to speak truthfully, the Scorpio, if they're, maybe 99.98% of the time, they're going to be able to hit 4K or whatever the fuck. It's be higher than people's rigs. And these motherfuckers came at me with all types of, and let's just speaking of facts. Racial slurs. I had this one motherfucker who's pretty big in the PC community named Rags. I've never heard of him before. Made a fucking 40-minute documentary about me. I'm like, what the fuck? But all what I was basically trying to say, we have fun with this console war. We have fun here. No false shits and giggles. It's between Microsoft, Sony, and maybe Nintendo will be determined. It has nothing to do with your personal computer. Like, I don't understand them trying to...
They're signing into Guy Rags is signing into fucking Windows environments. I don't understand why those...
I'm not trying to compare a PC, a personal computer, to a console. Nintendo's not in competition with Dell or Hewlett Packard. That's all that
guys and Sony guys can also they've seen too. So they're like the kid that's not involved in the game. Like you're having a catch. They're like remember the game Monkey in the Middle? Like you throw the ball.
Don't at me.
Yeah. It's the same shit. They just want to be. They want to be in the conversation. They want to be in the conversation, but the fact is they're not. They're on their own thing, and they can't accept it. This has always been the same way with PC guys, and they are out of their minds. They are. Honestly, you could say that they're the worst because if you piss them off, they will go fucking.
You got Bond and Hardy looking for my police. Me getting locked up. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Having folders about real life folders.
Like this shit is fucking bananas, and they call us zealous. Like we're fucking over the top. Like they be bald, man. I don't know, man.
When you make 20 videos in a span of 4 days, and it's Christmas to and it's all about other men.
But they call us. That's what I don't understand. They call us the corporate slave.
They can call us whatever they want. The fact of the matter is just, they should get their heads checked with the stuff that they do. They're obsessive. They're sick in the head, and they just they fuel themselves on other people rather than gaming. It's
the piece. I mean, God, man. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm bugging, but I just don't understand it. But like I said, today's been a very interesting show. Thank you, Crap and Mooch, for being unfashionably late. Thank you, Showstopper, for showing up. You know what I mean? But is there anything you guys want to say before we get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, there's gonna be a Gears, just like what they did with Halo.
Gears what?
$1 million.
$1 million tournament.
Nice. Is that for a team or for individual?
Once again, they're doing cool stuff with that, with the esports.
Yeah, I'm telling you, mark my words, Gears are going to take down Halo. Mark my words.
I don't think that's going to happen. $5 million in 3 months.
Yeah, Halo. I thought that for maybe a hot.
That Gears is hot.
You know what?
Halo is going to be fucking pumping in the money too.
You know why? Is because. I've said this before. Gears takes a lot of skill. People get pissed off and quit the multiplayer.
What in Halo?
Yeah. Dude, Halo
Gears is easier than
No,
No, we didn't even talk about the Xbox One S. It's coming out.
Hey, go fucking play. Go play Halo. Go play Halo. Like you can play a lot of stuff on Halo, right? Like they have that firefight, which is fucking phenomenal, and that's fun. With Gears, I mean, yeah, there's Horde and stuff, but if you play the multiplayer, like a lot of times, like some motherfucker comes wall bouncing on you and shit. Like you'll be dead. Yeah, you'll be dead before you know what fucking hits you.
I just like the new. I would say before we get the hell out of here. What are your because the game has improved. What do you like the new additions to the game? What do you love most? Like
for what? For Gears?
Yes.
Oh, I just like the idea that that some of the newer executions you can like pull people over the cover and stuff like that. I think that's
nice.
Pretty badass.
I like the environment. The wind was taking them and blowing them and shit. Like they really. God damn! I can't wait to play the campaign. Like I'm really gonna. That game just looks.
Well, Gears has been a staple. I mean, you even talk to people who first got onto the 360 when they played the first Gears of War. That was when people said the generation changed, and I don't know if it'll be that drastic.
No way.
But there are some elements to Gears 4 that are with the lighting and effects and just the here it is. It's going to be big. It's going to change a lot of people's perspective.
Was that the Windows 10 version we were looking at, or was that the console version?
No.
Listen, I want to tell you this. I'm going to interject. I was there at E3, and obviously we know if you have a 4K TV right now, you have HDR, okay? And let's just say you're that person, you're buying your Xbox One S, and by that time, which will be 3 months.
All right.
The HDR and everything. I saw it on a 55-inch 4K TV compared to a 70-inch running natively 4K with HDR. Let me tell you, the Xbox One S version with 4K HDR really it holds up, man.
But
it holds up.
My question is though, the footage that came up with the lightning, the pictures, like Jesus, like was that the Heaven's Punishment with the gun?
Well, you realize that on a HDR television. When you see that, like when I tell you that the graphics pop in that game,
they really do.
The coloring. Obviously, you have to have a 4K.
I have all the games going forward.
And you have to have an Xbox One S. You have to have them, and the Xbox One S will be out.
Well, here's the thing, guys. Like a lot of people don't understand this, right? They're like, "Oh man, no, who's gonna buy the Xbox One S? The hardcore is gonna buy it." And then they're gonna buy the Scorpio, and Microsoft probably understands that. You know what I mean? Like, look, GKB traded in his Xbox One.
I did too.
He's picking like so many people are getting ready to pick this thing up.
Me too.
PS4, dude.
I got rid of both my shits.
Me too.
The best buy. I ain't even got a console.
$200
Yeah. So anyway, like it's like people are gonna fucking buy this thing up. Microsoft almost won the NPD last month. And that was when people knew the Slim was coming out, right? Imagine what's going to happen when this fucking thing releases. You're going to get hit, because this is what you're going to do. Early August, you get that fucking, that 2 terabyte. People are going to run out and get the latest and greatest. Then, in the middle of the month, towards the end, you're going to get that fucking Madden bundle and that Halo bundle. Every fucking Master Chief game, $2.99. You can't fucking beat that. The cheapest 4K Blu-ray player.
You know what they should have
beat
done?
that.
You know what, I don't, like I said, you know what they should have done, honestly? And I don't know why they should have put a 4K stick on the goddamn box.
They could do that with Scorpio. I mean,
I'm just saying, but just going,
they did it on the motherboard.
I'm just saying, but they should have put a 4K sticker on the box, like the people that's going to upscale your games to 4K. A lot of people still don't know that. That should have been a fucking sticker on the play your games in 4K. You know what I mean? That should have been on the fucking box right there. Like I don't know, like sometimes Microsoft just fucking drops the ball. Like that should be there.
I think it's going to be fine. I think people will know that.
The average consumer, they don't like. Well, people still don't know.
It's slow adoption, but it's going to just. At one time, people were having 720p TVs. Right now, Xbox, the 2 terabyte is 5th or 6th on Amazon. It's been in the top 10 for the last 3 weeks. Or 2 when it was announced. So you're going to, and it hit number 1 when it originally was announced. August is definitely
it's sold out multiple times too, Tim. Like on Amazon and also Best Buy and GameStop. And not only that, but GameStop just ran a huge promotion, and everybody was trading in fucking PS4s.
I did it.
I traded mine in too. I don't have a console in my house. I'm fucking naked over here.
Oh man, exposed.
Yeah. I got more power for the buck, so I got my money on my card on a gift card.
These people, the bottom line is if you can't comment on what I have unless you start paying my bills. Bottom line is I return my PS4 $200. I return my Xbox One, my original $150 because they ran that deal Saturday. I had to buy back a controller because, as you know, I didn't have
for the PS4.
So I have $300 right now
on the card. Me too. Same thing.
The card. So I'm ready to go. If I can get this Xbox One S on Tuesday, I will get it, or I will just wait for the Madden bundle. But the bottom line is that when this hits the market and when people start like Netflix 4K HDR, right off the bat is going to be available.
That's what I'm saying. It should have had a little sticker on the fucking box.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's realities with that. I don't know.
But here's the thing. No, what they could have done if it's going to do it. It's not like it's false advertisement. But like I'm saying, because you can't count the motherfuckers in Best Buy or GameStop. You know, they're going to leave them just piled up in the middle of the goddamn aisle. You snatch them and keep it going. You know what I mean?
Well, you got people selling TVs, and they're going to say, you know what, the cheapest market the thing right now is look at this box.
We hope, and tell me in the perfect world, you know, motherfuckers, especially in GameStop, they hate the Xbox. It still does 720 days for so much fucking misinformation, bro.
It's at the point where they can hate Xbox all the time. They're just putting out a product now, and they're going to be putting out a product with Scorpio that's just going to be hard to deny. I mean, the console is fucking gorgeous. It is portable. That it is. It looks great.
Hey, it's smaller than the PS4. Remember when people were saying it wasn't?
Yeah,
it is.
That never really bothered me. I just want, you know what I mean?
Did you see who was it today? Was it GameStop? One of the news outlets today was saying one of the reviews has come out early, and they said something along the lines of I like how they said it was great, this and that, blah, 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 about Xbox One S, and they're like, but we do have a concern about the heating with the internal power supply. Yeah. I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, in all honesty, like, where's your concern with the PlayStation 4? That thing is, like, crammed, and you didn't say anything about that. Microsoft's had 3 years to consolidate and make this thing ergonomically just 100%. They know what they're doing at this point. Sony did it out the gate. Nobody worried about the heat or the noise that thing was putting out. I heard the Xbox One S is silent, just as silent as the fat one we got.
Smaller system on chip. So they did a good job there. So
absolutely.
But I'm gonna die of allergies, so I'm gonna be getting out of here right now. I'm dying right now.
Yeah, it has been a rough day.
But let's go Xbox. I'll see you guys next week.
It's the best box.
The best box.
Don't forget it.
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back. Hey, we off the air now?
Yeah. No, you're controlling it.
You're controlling it.
I was trying to turn it off. Thank you guys for watching out for us. Rockin', we'll see you on Xbox Nation Wednesday. And are you still Fridays and Saturday? We just shot Saturday.
Friday, 6 p.m.
Yeah, I'll see you on Saturday this week.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, it's Friday, Xbox. I'm sorry, Crossfire. And whatever fuckery I got going on. Thank you for rocking out with us. Bang, bang. Powers on, bitches.